Morning, everybody. My topic is evolution of GCP. GCP means good clinical practice. There is a term, first term is good clinical practice. So something bad clinical practice happened. That is why we have formed some rules and regulations to guide the clinical trial research in a better way. And we know the song আগুনের পরশমণি ছোঁয়াও প্রাণে এ জীবন পূর্ণ করো এ জীবন পূর্ণ করো দহন দানে purify me with your blessings of searing pain. This pain was suffered by so many people for the sake of clinical trial, clinical research, and we had to form some regulations to track it in the right direction. Until a couple of centuries ago, everyone who embarked on a long sea voyage knew that he would be exposed to a fatal ailment that would rot the gums, cause open sores to appear on the skin, and leave him prostrate before leading to death. Scurvy is the disease. Scurvy was known since Hippocratic era, and it had no solution. One gentleman, James Lind, who is the originator of modern clinical trial, who was a Scottish surgeon, began to unravel the secret of scurvy, and he, after 8 weeks at sea, when scurvy began to take its toll on the crew, Lind decided to test his idea that the putrefaction of the body caused by the disease could be prevented by acids. On May 20, he divided the 12 sick sailors into 6 pairs and provided each of them with a different supplement in their diet: cedar, vitriolic elixir, vinegar, sea water, 2 oranges and a lemon, or a purgative mixture. 6 groups. In each group, 2 participants, 2 sailors suffering from the disease. As a result of what, some had considered the first clinical trial in history. Only the 2 sailors who took the fruit improved, even though the oranges and lemons ran out after 6 days. What new happened here? In the light of clinical research, he first used the comparator group in the study. He first used the comparator group in the study. That is new, and this is considered as the first clinical trial. But unfortunately, it took another 50 years to establish that scurvy was due to scurvy can be prevented by the citrus food, and vitamin C deficiency is solely responsible for scurvy, because of some doubts in the mind of Lind, for which he could not publish it, and it took several decades to establish the fact that this disease is due to deficiency of vitamin C. Now, our HOD sir has mentioned the elixir tragedy in 1937 in US, which was the sulfonamide solution, and this was popular antibiotic at that time. It came into the market and was taken by so many people, but due to presence of diethylene glycol, it as a solvent, it caused death of several people, and sir, and this drug had to be taken back. This came into the market because their FDA had no power to
नाजी एक्सपेरिमेंट ठीक है
with only a quarter of documented victims killed. Survivors generally experience severe permanent injuries. Many of the subjects died as a result of the experiments conducted by the Nazis, while others were murdered after the tests were completed to study the effect post-mortem. What were the experiments? Some examples are blood coagulation experiments, bone, muscle, and nerve transplantation experiments, experiments on twins, namely amputating healthy limbs of twins, deliberately infecting them with diseases such as typhus, blood transfusions from one twin to the other, fusing twins together to create conjoined twins, etc. They also had freezing and hypothermia experiments, high altitude experiments, sea water experiments. These were carried. These after the war, these crimes were tried at what became known as the doctor's trial, and reversals at the abuses perpetrated led to the development of the Nuremberg Code, Nuremberg Code of Medical Ethics. The Nazi doctors argued in the trial that military necessity justified the experiments and compared the victims to the collateral damage from Allied bombing. How cruel the argument was. Nuremberg Code was formed in 1947. that sets out standards for review and conduct of research involving human subjects, including voluntary consent of subjects, most important, justifiable reason for experiment, and protection of participants. Now we are seeing in the picture that some children are there. They are having their limbs very small limbs. This is also a tragedy. It happened in 1960s. Can you predict what is the tragedy? Thalidomide disaster. We call it thalidomide disaster. The child is learning to write without the limb, and it was revealed that thalidomide was actually an anti-convulsant drug developed in 1950s. It was presumed to be a very good tranquilizer, and people used to take it over the counter without prescription in Germany. US did not allow the drug to be marketed in US, and it also had good result in morning sickness, and pregnant ladies in the Europe taking the drug. It was sold over the counter, and after that few years, it was revealed that so many children are being born with the congenital defect, and it was assigned to the use of thalidomide during the pregnancy. And this disaster was revealed in 1962. Before then, every new drug was seen as beneficial. But after the disaster, we had to check the safety of the drugs coming to the market. We have conceived the idea of checking the drug before it comes to the market. Now, what happened in the US after thalidomide disaster in the Germany? Kefauver Harris Drug Management Act 1962 in US. It developed in response to thalidomide's tragedy. Manufacturers to provide drug efficacy as well as safety before marketing a new drug, and informed consent required from participants. Now we had at the same time something was happening in the US also. We are talking of thalidomide tragedy in 1960, and since 1932, something was happening in the US. The strategic study of untreated syphilis in Negro men. These were being done by public health service working with Tuskegee Institute in US. It involved 399 black men with syphilis and 201 without the disease. Without their informed consent, the National Directory of Syphilis in black men were being studied in US. They were kept without treatment in exchange of free medical examination, pre-meals, and burial insurance. Only this. Against that, they were started without draft. And originally it was a project of 6 months. But what we saw, the project, the study continued for 40 long years. Who started the study died, but study continued. The doctors who started the study, the researchers have died. By that time, but the study continued. Meanwhile, penicillin came into being as a drug of choice in 1947, but it was not offered to those unlucky fellows, and they had no choice of quitting the study. These are the examples of bad clinical practices. And advisory panel in 1972 called it as ethically unjustified experiment. It gave rise to the Belmont report in 1979, summarizes the basic ethical principles identified by National Commission as respect for persons, beneficence, and justice. Before Belmont report, there came another declaration, that is GCP Declaration 1964, for significant effort to regulate research itself and forms the basis of most subsequent documents. It was passed in 18th World Medical Association General Assembly in 1964. It said a balance between the interests of humanity and individual patients who are part of clinical trial. Helsinki Declaration underwent 7 revisions since then. 7 revisions. The most recent at the General Assembly in October 2013, and 2 clarifications. It grew considerably in length. 11 paragraphs in 1964, but it is now 37 paragraphs in 2013 version. Now, in the 19 in 1990s, International Conference on Harmonization was formed. It provided a unified standard for European Union, Japan, and US that facilitated mutual acceptance of clinical data. It provided guidelines for quality, efficacy, safety, and multidisciplinary issues. This will be dealt in the next part of the program. As the Indian scenario, we got Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940s and Drug and Cosmetic Rule 1945. We had Indian GCP guidelines in 2001 by Telesco, and we had Schedule Y, which is acted in 2005, that regulates the development and marketing of drugs in India. We have academic clinical trial guideline in this year 2019 and ICMR guidelines also. This will be discussed in the next part of the workshop. Thank you.